Dear student, today we are discussing the 11th level chapter and the chapter name is General Solution of Trigonometrical Equations. General solution of trigonometrical equations. In this chapter, at first we are discussing some formula. After that, we are discussing some example of this chapter. At first, we are giving some formula. Then we are discussing some example related to that formula. Okay, we move to the formula section. Then we move to the example section. Okay, there are three types of formula is there. One is sin theta type formula, and the another is cos theta type formula, and the third type formula is tan theta type formula. Now we are discussing the three types formula one by one. Now first we are discussing the sin theta type formula. If sin theta is equal to 0, then theta is equal to n pi, and if sin theta is equal to 1, then theta is equal to 4n plus 1 and multiple with pi by 2. The third formula, sin theta is equal to minus 1, then theta is equal to 4n minus 1 multiplied with pi by 2. Similarly, fourth formula of sin theta type is sin theta is equal to sin of alpha. The range is minus pi by 2 less is equal to alpha less is equal to pi by 2. Then theta is equal to n pi plus minus 1 to the power n times of alpha. Now this is a complete of sin theta type. Now we move to the cos theta type formula. Cos theta type formula is there. The cos theta type formula, cos of theta is equal to 0, then theta is equal to 2n plus 1 times of pi by 2. The second formula, cos theta is equal to 1, then theta is equal to 2n pi. The third cos type formula is cos theta is equal to cos of alpha, and the range is 0 less is equal to alpha less is equal to pi. Then theta is equal to 2n pi plus minus alpha. Now the last cos theta type formula is cos theta is equal to minus 1. Then theta is equal to 2n plus 1 times of pi. Now we move to the last formula, that is the tan theta type formula. Now the tan theta type formula is tan theta is equal to 0, then theta is equal to n pi. Now the next tan theta type formula is tan theta is equal to tan alpha, and the range is minus pi by 2 less than alpha less than pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 less than alpha less than pi by 2. Then theta is equal to n pi plus of alpha, where the n is used is belongs to the z, that is the integer part. So n, all the n we are using in this formula is belongs to z. So this is a complete of formula section. Now we move to the next, that is the example section. One by one we are discussing the example. Okay, we move to the example section. Now we are discussing the first example of the day. The first example is, if sec of x is equal to minus root 2, then find x. So by our given informations, sec of x is equal to minus of root 2. That is, cos of x is equal to minus 1 by root 2. And we know that the value of cos 1 by root 2 is equal to cos of pi by 4. The value of cos pi by 4 is 1 by root 2. So we are using here. So cos of x is equal to minus cos of pi by 4. So if we are using the minus, then we get cos of pi minus pi by 4. So by calculating we get cos of 3 pi by 4. Now by using the general solution formula of trigonometric equations, we get x is equal to 2n pi plus minus 3 pi by 4. So this is the general solutions of x, and n belongs to z, that is the n is an integer. So putting the value of n, we get the specific types of the value of x. This is complete the first example. Now we move to the next example. Now we are discussing the second example of the day. The second example is if sin 4 theta multiplied with cos 2 theta is equal to cos of 5 theta multiplied with sin of theta, then find the value of theta. Now from the given information, we can write it sin of 4 theta is equal to cos of 2 theta is equal to cos of 5 theta sin of theta. If we multiply 2 in both sides, then we get now we are using 2 sin A cos B formula. That is a sin of A plus B. That is a 4 theta plus of 2 theta is equal to sin of 6 theta. Similarly here sin of A minus B, that is a sin of 4 theta minus of 2 theta, that is a sin of 2 theta. Similarly we are using here 2 cos A sin B type formula. So 2 cos A sin B type formula is sin of A plus B, that is a 5 theta plus of theta is equal to 6 theta minus A sin of A minus B, that is sin of 5 theta minus of theta is equal to 4 theta. Now we are vanishing sin 6 theta and sin 6 theta both sides. There is sin of 4 theta here and plus of sin of 2 theta is equal to 0. Now we are using sin C plus sin D formula. 2 sin C plus D by 2 cos of C minus D by 2 types formula. So after calculating we get sin of 3 theta and cos of theta is equal to 0. So we can say sin 3 theta is equal to 0 or cos of theta is equal to 0. So we are using the standard 2 formula of sin 3 theta is equal to 0 and cos of theta is equal to 0. So sin 3 theta is equal to 0, that is the 3 theta is equal to n pi, that is the theta is equal to n pi divided by 3, and here cos theta is equal to 0, that is the theta is equal to 2n plus 1 times of pi by 2, whereas n belongs to z, that is the integer. Now this is the complete of the second example. Now we move to the third example and the last example. Dear student, subscribe the channel for more information. We are discussing the last and the final example of the day. The final example of the day is if sec theta minus 1 is equal to root 2 minus 1 times of tan theta, then find the theta. So by the given information we can write sec of theta minus 1 is equal to root 2 minus 1 times of tan of theta. Now we know that root 2 minus 1 is equal to tan of pi by 8. So we are using this here. So that is, and sec means 1 by cos theta minus of 1, and here we are using tan of pi by 8 and tan of theta. Now LCM we get 1 minus cos of theta divided by cos of theta, and similarly tan means sin pi by 8 divided with cos pi by 8, and this one sin of theta divided by cos of theta. Now this one is after vanishing cos theta, then multiply with cross multiplying we get cos of pi by 8 minus cos theta into cos of pi by 8 is equal to sine of pi by 8 sine of theta. If we shift this here, then we get cos of pi by 8 is equal to cos of theta into cos of pi by 8 plus sine of theta, arranging it, sine of pi by 8. Then we are using cos A cos B plus sin A sin B formula. So cos A cos B plus sin A sin B is equal to cos of A minus B type formula. We are using cos theta is equal to cos of alpha type formula. That is the cos of, this one is shifted here, and cos of pi by 8 is here. So we are using cos of theta is equal to cos of alpha type formula. That is this one, theta minus pi by 8 is equal to 2n pi plus minus pi by 8. So if we simplify it, then we get theta is equal to 2n pi plus minus pi by 8 plus of pi by 8. Whereas n belongs to z, that is an integer. So this is the complete of third and the last example of the day. Hope the given information and example will help you to understand this chapter, and when you practicing this chapter in later, this video enrich your knowledge about this chapter when you practicing this chapter in future. And next day we will discussing the 12th level chapter.